recruiters have had a rollercoaster 12 months with Brexit, elections, and changes to tax laws making for an unsettled backdrop. Brexit still features strongly in the minds of investors, but the good news now though is that, if anything, the impact is helpful. Albert Ellis, IT specialist Harvey Nash's ILO NHB and chief executive, says the market has fully recovered after the EU vote a year ago sparked fears employers would stop recruiting. Steady progress. Recent interim results showed a steady performance with gross profit, the equivalent of revenue, up slightly at £48.20 MLN, while pre-tax profits rose by 4% to £3.95 MLN. The UK in particular was robust, while Europe's contribution, too, held as a good performance in the Benelux countries and in Northern Europe offset dips in Germany and Switzerland. Harvey Nash's geographical diversity is one of its strengths, with turnover split 404,020 between the UK, Europe and ACS. Consolidation potential. Some 60% of revenues come from temporary placement and 40% permanent, though this balance has shifted a little following the recent acquisition of fellow IT recruiter Crimson. Harvey Nash paid an initial £6 MLN for the UK-based group, which can rise to £15 MLN depending on performance. Crimson, which made a profit of £1.70 MLN in the year to March and has a 5,050 balance between permanent placement and solutions, was the second acquisition this year following the much smaller deal to buy Pat Management in Sweden for £1.70 MLN. Ellis can see Harvey Nash as a consolidator in the sector, as he believes one of the long-term consequences of Brexit will be a shift towards larger companies. Brexit has really made companies look at their supply chain and procurement needs. Clout. Increasingly important. Clout and size in markets is what large companies want, and boutiques and small company owners are worried they will be sidelined by this migration to larger companies. The impact of Brexit on them, therefore, potentially is much worse. Of course, this offers opportunities for the likes of Harvey Nash to expand through bolt-ons, and Ellis says the company is happy to look around the world if the right deal comes along. We look at the pay packages of software developers and executives in a country. If they are in the world's top quartile, it is attractive to us. High internet and digital penetration are other attractions. That's where we want to be, as fees and revenues are a function of that digital infrastructure. Places such as Finland, Ireland, Sweden and the UK. Ellis says Harvey Nash is already eyeing gross revenues of more than £1 billion after a half-year increase of 12.6% to £425 MLN, which was before Crimson makes any contribution. Dividend payer. There are challenges. Internet-based recruitment, through the likes of LinkedIn, is a headache, Ellis says, but he believes Harvey Nash can convince clients that it is worth paying a fee rather than hiring online. We are very good at referencing and excellent at track records, skills and relationships with management. Recent cybersecurity scares are helping here, as companies now are increasingly conscious both of the risks of a hack into their systems and also of an internal data breach. You have to be very careful hiring someone who has access to chief executive's email, Ellis adds. Investors have warmed to the story again after last year's Brexit turbulence, with the shares at 91p, just below a year's high, and valuing Harvey Nash at £67 MLN. Having also just moved from the main market to AIM, Harvey Nash is also one of the junior market's higher and most secure dividend payers. The interim dividend rose by 5%, and if the full-year dividend goes up a similar amount, the prospective yield will be 4.7%.